Good morning, vegan fam! Welcome to another episode. We are excited today. This is one of my favorite episodes of all time because we're talking about Christmas, the holidays, and gift giving, and specifically the best gifts for people who are vegan or people who might be on a gluten-free diet or just people who just love to cook in the kitchen, right? So we're gonna go over an in-depth guide for what presents that you can give them this holiday season.
Well done, Brad. We are...
Thank you. Words of positive affirmation making me feel good.
That was a really good intro.
Thanks.
Right on. So what kind of gifts are we going to be showing people as far as like price ranges go?
Yeah, so first off, we're gonna start with stocking stuffers. I got my stocking here.
Me too!
And we're gonna show you what we have in our stockings and what would be ideal for somebody who might be vegan or gluten-free.
Yeah, and I know if mom and dad, if you're watching this, you know, this is the kind of stuff we want for Christmas.
But I think it's also relatable for like anyone. I mean, we picked a bunch of things that I think a lot of people are just gonna love.
All right, so then after we talk about stocking stuffers, we're gonna jump over to gifts from $50 to $200.
And after that, if you're ready to splurge, maybe you have somebody really special and you want to get that big ticket item, we're gonna have something where all the items are $200 plus, and I think our most expensive gift is $900 US.
And to finish it off, we're gonna show you guys probably the most popular category that everyone's looking for, gifts from $0 to $50. Kind of in that perfect price range. If you're doing like a Secret Santa, or you know, you have a budget, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end.
Let me pull out, what I say next is very important. Let me pull out my first stocking stuffer that we would highly recommend and we love.
Show the people!
Here we go. I have pulled out this delicious truffle powder. So truffle flavored anything these days is all the rage. And this truffle powder you can get at most Asian supermarkets near you. You're gonna find these there.
Okay, I'm so excited. Truffle powder, I was not living properly. I did not have a proper life until I had truffle powder. And I've only discovered this, like, I think this year. It's the first year we've found this truffle powder, and it's amazing. If you know what truffle powder smells and tastes like, I hope you're excited about this, because this is something that will make so many of your dishes taste unreal.
Yeah.
Just truffle fries, you can make truffle sauces, truffle pasta. Ugh.
Let's go on to our next one. Janelle, what do you have in your stocking for the people?
See, I can't really remember. This will be a surprise for me too. Okay,
Let's see the twinkle and the excitement in her eyes as she pulls out.
It's Anthony's nutritional yeast. Now, you may be thinking this is such a strange gift to put in someone's stocking, a bag of yeast. But actually, if you are plant-based, you know all about nutritional yeast and why it is pretty much like gold flakes in your food. It makes your food taste cheesy. It's usually always fortified with B12, which is great because if you're eating plant-based, most people need to get a little extra B12 in their diets. So nutritional yeast is like the everything seasoning. It transforms your meals. It adds so much flavor and umami. It's great.
What do I have? This one's in there real good.
Oh boy.
We have Butler's soy curls.
Let's just open it, let people see that nice and closely.
We'll give you a close-up B-roll shot here as well.
Yes.
So these...
They're the chicken of the plant world.
Yes, we use them in so many of our recipes. We'll link one up here up top that you can click on. But these taste just like chicken, like you just said. And we use it in so many different ways. And it seems weird, but like you could give somebody chocolate or you could give somebody soy curls. And if you're vegan and maybe you haven't tried these, they're a fantastic gift for them to try out in the kitchen for the first time and give you so many different options for dishes. So highly recommend those. Shall we move on to your next one?
Yes, very, very good, sir. Let's see what's in here. Bloom latte mixes. Now, let's take a brief cut so I can show you how many of them I actually have. I have a lot of Bloom latte mixes. You could say that I'm a fan. Now, this here happens to be a brand that is local to us here in Vancouver, but they ship worldwide, and I believe they're also on Amazon now too, which is pretty great. These are all like adaptogenic latte mixes. They're made from like really great quality herbs and spices and nutritional ingredients and like adaptogens and fancy mushrooms and stuff, and there's so many different flavors. Yeah, so if you're watching, friends and family, subtle, very subtle.
Yes.
All right, so I'm not gonna show you guys all the names of the blends. We'll link them all down below for you, so this video doesn't drag on too long.
Yes. Over to me. I feel one last item in here. Here we go.
All right.
We have
Ooh.
Noble jerky. This is vegan jerky. Now it's important to note it's not gluten-free, but let me tell you, this stuff, well, you know what? If you want to see how it tastes, you can actually click this link up here that just popped up, and we actually have a full taste test video about this jerky, and I never ever thought when I went vegan that I would ever have beef jerky again that was any good. And let me tell you, this stuff is, well,
so good.
It's pretty awesome.
It's like so good. Very good, sir. Very
Okay.
good.
So there's one last stocking stuffer, which we did see at the grocery store today, but we didn't actually buy it to show it off to you guys. And that is the Cadbury Plant Bar. So I loved growing up and getting chocolate in my stockings. That was a regular tradition in my family. And if you're gonna get me a chocolate bar, that's the one that I would choose. That wraps up our stocking stuffers.
All right, moving on to some of the items in our kitchen that we recommend for Christmas gifts.
Join us and let's go on a little bit of a kitchen tour. I hope you're having fun.
Hi guys, hope you find your kitchen.
All right, here we go, everyone. Kitchen tour. Here are the dishes that Janelle doesn't want me to show you. Dirty dishes, the horror. This is our real lives. We're real people with dirty dishes.
Such a failure. Just kidding, everyone has dirty dishes. So, we are now going to show you gifts from the $50 to $200 price range. We're going to start with an Instant Pot. Now, there are many different models of Instant Pot out there. We happen to have the, I believe, the Luxe. Now, I love having an Instant Pot, which is also a pressure cooker. You can make so many things in a very short amount of time using a pressure cooker. I predominantly use this to cook grains and beans and soups and stews. It's great for like batch cooking things. So if you're a meal prepper, that Instant Pot's gonna save you so much time. You can make big batches of oatmeal, like I said, grains. I do quinoa and rice in here a few times a week, and they make big batches in a very short amount of time, and it cooks things really, really well. I can't say enough good things about having a pressure cooker, so definitely recommend the Instant Pot. Next up is the Always Pan. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the Always Pan, and perhaps some of you may already have one. It's an 8-in-1 item, so it can steam things, and it comes with this beautiful steamer basket that's removable, and it's multi-purpose, and it has this wonderful non-stick coating. Here, I'll just bring this up so it's in the light better. And it comes in so many different colors as well. What I love about the Always Pan as well is that it's pretty deep for a saucepan, so you can make soups and chilies in here, and a pretty decent portions when you're cooking in the Always Pan. Can't recommend the Always Pan enough. Moving on to the next item, which is this really awesome double bowled food processor by KitchenAid. Now, this is the first food processor I have ever owned, and so far, so good. I really love it. This food processor comes with so many wonderful attachments. It has a slicer blade, it has a dual-sided grater, so you can do like a fine, or this is a medium shred to a fine shred. It also has a dough hook, which is great if you like to make bread doughs or pastry doughs. This is very handy for that. And in addition to this awesome carrying case that comes with it, so you can store all of these pieces in your cupboard, I mentioned earlier that it's a double bowled food processor, and so if you're going to be cooking really big batches of stuff, then you have the option to use this big, giant bowl. Moving on to our next category, which is items in the price range of $200 plus. So we're getting into the kind of pricier, splurgy items. We have a KitchenAid stand mixer, and I totally recommend having one, especially if you are a baker or a plant-based baker, whatever kind of baker you are. Having a stand mixer is great because it just helps save your arms from so much stirring, and you can get so many different kinds of attachments and different bowls and stuff, and they come in a bunch of different colors and they look lovely on the counter as well. So if you are a baker especially, I highly recommend getting a stand mixer. And they also come in different sizes as well, so you don't have to get something that's quite this big. They have smaller and even like mini versions of stand mixers. And speaking of attachments, this is one of our favorite attachments for it as well. It's a spiralizer. I'm not going to get into too many details, but this is great, especially if you are trying to eat more vegetables. You can, spiralize your cucumbers and carrots and beets and all that jazz, and it works in a pinch. Moving on to our next item.
Ooh, can I do it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, we'll transfer the camera here.
Transferring camera.
I wanted to take over because this is my favorite device of what I love to use, which is the Vitamix blender. So you need something with some power, especially if you're on a vegan diet. And I know that the price is definitely a lot more for Vitamix, but with the warranty that you get and the incredible service, like, it's night and day. Vitamix versus Ninja in terms of the service. They've been incredible, Vitamix, with what they've done for us. They've gone above and beyond. I can't say enough great things. Let's go on to one of my favorite items in the kitchen, and Janelle's favorite, which is the big one, the biggest item we're recommending here today, and that we have a coupon for you as well, which is what we call our iHarvest. Okay guys, this is our iHarvest by IG Works. We have a full in-depth review that takes you through this. We are about, I'd say, 10 weeks in here. We've been harvesting. These all started as little seeds, and of course they grew up into these beautiful big plants, but we absolutely love this. We use lettuce, as you can see on here. We have basil for our pestos. We even have marigolds growing there, which we can actually snip off and put on a salad. We have kale, which we use a ton in our smoothies. This is like the dream hydroponic garden for somebody who is on a vegan diet. Welcome back to our living room here next to our Christmas tree. We're talking about what you've all been waiting for, which is those $0 to $50 items. Those are usually what's in most people's price ranges. They're great for Secret Santa gifts.
So the first item is a tofu press. Now, this is something that we do not have, but we want. And why we don't have one,
We're like cavemen. We use heavy rocks. We put on tofu to squash.
Pretty much. Having a tofu press basically eliminates the need for you to stack giant, heavy cutting blocks with cookbooks or frying pans on top to press out the moisture from your block of tofu.
Yes, that's a great idea. Let's talk about our second item in this category. Over to me, as I'm talking here.
Yes.
I'm pretty much taking control. That would be a cutting board, but not just any cutting board. This is a bamboo cutting board that has little drawers that pull out below.
Wow.
I found this on Amazon and I was like, you know what? So often when we're chopping stuff, and it's usually me being the sous chef and chopping everything and Janelle doing most of the main stuff.
Accurate.
Yes, I have to throw everything into bowls all over the place. And then
so many bowls.
Yeah, and it takes up so much counter space. And we don't have a big kitchen, as you saw. And so if you're somebody who loves cooking and you're vegan, you're gonna have a lot of veggies that you're gonna be chopping up for all the recipes that we do.
Exactly.
And so I love that you can just pull out these drawers after you chopped up, say, all your red onion or your peppers, and just put them in the drawer for later when you're ready to start cooking all the veggies. So
great for a kitchen wench.
There's lots of different options, and these are the ones I chose. So I just think it's a great gift, so you don't have to worry about, does this person have maybe too many cutting boards? Well, you know what? You can always use some extra ones. And so I think it's just one of those great gifts, and it's cool, innovative idea that they've done with the cutting board. So it works. Back over to you.
Right on. So I just said right on twice in a row.
Right on.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's not quite correct, but whatever. We're gonna go
all right.
There we go. I don't know what I'm doing.
That could be your new catchphrase. Right on.
Okay, so this item is a digital food scale with a measuring cup. Very handy, something that I somehow don't yet have. But great for if you're looking to, measure specific amounts of food, especially if you're a baker. Having a digital scale is great because so many times you have different flours you're using and they all have different weights, and sometimes having 1 cup of coconut flour is not the same as having 1 cup of almond flour, and you need to measure certain weights, and it's just great, comes in handy. And also if you are on like a weight loss journey and you want to weigh your food because you're trying to calculate your macros, it's a great idea to have a digital food scale.
Okay, back over to me.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to hand it over to you.
I'm just taking it. I'm excited about this next one. It's a bit of a unique, kind of odd one that I found, but I think it's really cool. It's an instant beverage cooler. So say you like iced coffees in the summertime, like in just a minute, this thing can cool your coffee, make it an iced coffee, and you don't even need ice cubes.
Damn, that's a cool gift. It's not something you probably would ever buy for yourself, but if you received one, you'd be like, I really like that I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Back over to you.
I got it right here, and I happen to have actually one of these items. It's not something I'm wishing for, it's something I actually have. Silicone baking mats. Now, mine are a little used, so they're kind of stained, but they are fantastic. If you are a eco-conscious person, which I hope you are, this eliminates the need to use parchment paper, or if you are someone who isn't a fan of spraying your baking trays with cooking oil because you're trying to watch your calorie intake, having silicone baking mats is fantastic. Over to you, Brad.
Yes. And I'm going to talk about these towels, which have actually been talked about by, you may know him, Tim Ferriss, who has his own fancy little blog there. Everyone loves Tim.
Yeah.
And he, in his book, The 4-Hour Chef, which I've read, talks about these surgical towels. Now they're used in hospitals. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Surgical towels.
No, but if you're
Tell me
if you're a cook, you're like a surgeon, operating on vegetables and stuff, especially if you're vegan. And one of the important things that you usually see when you visit a restaurant where you can see the kitchen, you see the chefs usually have towels over their shoulder, or they've got a towel tucked into their waistband, and usually it's these towels. They're phenomenal in how absorbent they are. And Tim recommends them for any chef or any at-home wannabe chef, or just, I think they're just a fantastic thing to have. They're not the most beautiful towels, that's for sure, but they're very practical and they come in handy so often. And you can also use them, say you want to grab something out of the oven. You don't need oven mitts nearby. You can just use this towel, which you have tucked into your waistband as you're pulling stuff out. You're not going to burn your hands with it.
That's great to know, because my oven mitts are total crap. I can feel the hot pan in my hands.
Feel my hands burning.
I can't, so I could use a few of those for Christmas, babe.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we hope you've had fun and wish you guys a happy and safe and very merry holiday season here.
That was beautiful. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Hope you find your kitchen
Gold! Wahoo!